Hello, I'm Caleb Havanka, and welcome to the Morning Star Journal News Weekly Roundup, where we will discuss the top 5 news articles of the week. Let's begin. Number 5. Swearing in of Ketanji Brown Jackson expected in June or July. On Thursday, April 7, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson was confirmed to the Supreme Court by the Senate. However, she will not be sworn in until Justice Stephen Breyer vacates the seat at the end of the current term in late June or early July. It is not uncommon for confirmations to take place while the predecessor is still occupying the seat, but unusual for justices to be sworn in months later, as in this case. So this woman, who doesn't know what a woman is, but was nominated because she is a woman, will be confirmed to the highest court in the land. You really can't make this stuff up, but I do believe it was expected because of how corrupt and politically correct the U.S. government is. So, I mean, all we can do is just pray that God turns this bad situation into a good one, some way, somehow. And, who knows? Maybe Judge Jackson will discover what a woman is by being a Supreme Court justice. Who knows? I mean, that could be good. Number 4. Alabama passes bill banning sex and gender topics in grades K through 5. The Alabama legislature passed a version of Florida's parental rights and education bill that would restrict school instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity in grades K through 5. Republican State Senator Shay Shelnut said, quote, "We don't think it's appropriate to talk about homosexuality and gender identity in schools. They should be learning about math," end quote. Democrats blasted the amendment, accusing Republicans of advancing a law that would restrict speech in the classroom. So in last week's news roundup, I said we're going to see more states follow in Florida's footsteps with this bill. And, first it was Ohio, and now it's Alabama. And I do believe Georgia recently voted for this bill as well. So this is actually awesome news. And we're making some headway here. And I believe this is the tip of the iceberg with these states. So that's great. Number 3. China revs up expansion of nuclear arsenal. According to the Wall Street Journal, the Chinese government has begun to accelerate the development of its nuclear arsenal after reassessing the threat posed to mainland China by the United States. It is believed that China sees a stronger nuclear arsenal as a way to deter the U.S. from involving itself in a potential future conflict over Taiwan. The Pentagon estimates China will have 1,000 nuclear warheads by the end of this decade. This really should not be a surprise to anyone. This is simply a result of weak leadership in America. China feels emboldened to expand and flex its muscles because it knows with the Biden administration's, foreign policy records, it can get away with anything pretty much. And with Biden still in office, we might see very soon China try and take Taiwan. And the question is, what will America do about it? Number 2. Oklahoma House approves bill to make abortion illegal. This is my favorite one by far. The Oklahoma House gave final legislative approval to a bill that would make performing an abortion a felony, punishable by up to 10 years in prison and a $100,000 fine. The Republican-controlled House voted 70-14 to send the bill to Republican Governor Kevin Stitt, who has previously said he'd sign any anti-abortion bill that comes to his desk. GOP State Rep Jim Olson said the Oklahoma bill makes an exception only for an abortion performed to save the life of the mother. It is so good to finally see a government do its job and walk in its purpose, which is to protect and secure life for its citizens. I really hope this bill does make it to the governor's desk, and I hope when it does, he will have the courage to sign it. But, in reality, this should be a federal law because, just speaking frankly, abortion is murder. There's no ifs, there's no buts. It is straight up murder, and it should be punishable by the law. Number 1. Anti-abortion group discovers 115 aborted babies in medical waste box. According to Live Action News, the bodies of 115 aborted babies were discovered in a medical waste box outside Surgery Clinic in Washington, D.C. in late March. Pro-life activists from Progressive Anti-Abortion Uprising, known as POW, were involved in the discovery of the bodies. The group contends that they obtained the box containing the remains of these babies from a Curtis Bay Energy driver who had been sent to the abortion facility to pick up medical waste. So this is the world we live in. We live in a world where we kill babies, we throw their remains into medical waste boxes, and then we burn their bodies for energy. This is real. The 2 women who found these babies called on the police to do an autopsy on at least 5 of the babies who seem to have been aborted during birth, or after birth, which, if that's the case, is a federal crime. The D.C. police refused to investigate how these babies were murdered, but instead these fetuses were aborted in accordance to the law. So here we have radically different morals from 2 different governments, and I'm referring back to the previous article about Oklahoma. Oklahoma's government is deciding to protect life with its laws, using its laws, while the Washington, D.C. government is deciding to end life. All I can say is we as Christians need to pray that God's justice will be executed on behalf of the innocent. Well, that'll wrap up our weekly news roundup. I hope you all enjoyed. If you wish to stay informed on current events, please check out our website at morningstarjournal.com. You can follow us on social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, Getter, and Telegram. You can check us out at Morningstar Journal News, and you'll find us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and Rumble page. Again, it's at Morningstar Journal News. Thank you all for watching again. I'm Caleb Havanka, and stay tuned for next week's News Roundup.